The social change theories and terms that we learned in Units 1 and 2 apply to nearly every aspect of our lives. Whether it be what we read or see on the news, what we learn in the classroom, or what we do with our lives at school and our lives outside of it, social change theories can always help us explore these areas further. Dan Carcillo is a former NHL hockey player who won 2 Stanley Cups with the Chicago Blackhawks. He sat down for an interview with Jamie Strachan of CBC News, where an article was written about his hazing that he faced in his junior hockey career days. Dan Carcillo witnessed so much abuse, and so much abuse happened to him. He says one of the most vivid memories that stands out is one of my teammates being taped to a table, ass up, naked, being whipped with his own belt by 2 veterans. This was the type of daily abuse that veteran hockey players would give to the rookie and freshman first years. It's a shame that hazing has become far too common in sports. Part of the reasons this happened is what we call cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance happens when there's conflicting emotions in someone's head. For example, a smoker faces cognitive dissonance when they want to continue smoking, but on the other hand, they know it's bad for them and can cause cancer. In this case, the cognitive dissonance happens when the person knows it's wrong to haze another rookie, but it's happened to them and they feel it's their rite of passage to haze the rookies in the future. That is one of the attributes of social change. You are taught things growing up, and you don't question them. So when you are hazed as a rookie, you are told it's your right to do this next year. So you're going to suck it up this year, and then the next year you're going to do it to the rookies in the future. People don't question this. That's when Dan Carcillo came along, and he said, this isn't right. We should question this, and he wanted to create that social change to make sure that this isn't the norm anymore. And his wife, Yoko Ono, in December of 1969. It was meant to try and get people to push for the end of the Vietnam War. In America, there was a growing belief that the Vietnamese War had no real reason to be going on, and countless American lives and Vietnamese lives were being lost for no reason. The two put up billboards across 12 major cities around the world, with their slogan, "War is over if you want it," to try and bring awareness around the world. They also released a song in 1971 called Happy Xmas, War is Over, to further bring awareness to a war that still hadn't stopped 2 years later. A social change theory that applies to this movement is cyclical theory of change. This theory is all about how change happens in seasons. In this case, the season was war. The war started and people thought it was a good idea. But eventually, as the war continued to move on, it became less and less popular. This movement helped bring awareness to the fact that the war needed to end. Just like in 2008, when this campaign was revived to try and bring an end to the Iraq War. Part of the reason cyclical theory of change applies is because Yoko Ono believes that if John Lennon was around for the Iraq War, he would have started a movement similar to this, meaning that even though it was a different set of circumstances, just like the season, the social change movement would have still happened. What Yoko Ono and John Legend were trying to do was to create a social paradigm shift, which is trying to change the perception of the majority of a society's beliefs. With this movement, they were trying to create a shift towards society seeing that there was no reason for the Vietnam War anymore. It was costing American and Vietnamese lives for nothing. Although the war did not end until 6 years later, this movement created meaningful dialogue, which started a paradigm shift towards many Americans being against the Vietnam War.
Blythe Academy Yorkville is a very small and intimate group of students who all share intertwined cultures, behaviors, as well as trends from different communities. A theory that can easily relate to Blythe is microsociology. If you don't know what microsociology is, it is one of the main points or focuses of sociology, concerning the nature of everyday human social interactions as well as agencies on a small scale face-to-face. Because of microsociology and the way Blythe works, it helps trends grow as well as habits. An example of this would be juuling. Juuling usually refers to the recreational use of vaping. They have a sleek design in different colors and resemblance to a USB drive. Juul products are easy to conceal and use in schools, sometimes even in the middle of class. This is a common device and social behavior found around the school that many students participate in. The Juul is a new and approved device that can help show how far technology has come and how advanced our macro, for example Toronto, and micro, for example Blythe, society has come. Many students either have Juuls to help with previous smoking or nicotine addictions, or some may feel as if they need to have one just to fit in. It becomes more than a vaping device and more of a way to socially interact with other students at Blythe. At break, you will see many students smoking outside or juuling in groups. It is a great way to socialize with others, but a very unhealthy way to self-pacify, fit in, and even be around due to its many dangerous health factors and high growing rate of addiction.
I would consider myself a fairly normal and relatable teenage student who experiences and takes on challenges the same way as my peers. This can be seen in class when we are presented with our grades, which heavily relates to a methodology term called confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency to interpret new evidence as confirmation of one's existing beliefs and theories. When my fellow peers ask about the grade that I have received, I will almost always wait for them to inform me in what they got first, so I can match their level of achievement. Another theory that I can relate my personal and school life to is a social theory called the conflict theory of change. Conflict theory, suggested by Karl Marx, claims society is in a state of perpetual conflict because of competition for limited resources. It holds that social order is maintained by domination and power, rather than consensus and conformity. This can be related to me in a sense when analyzing my teachers' and parents' roles in my life. Because both authorities are older than I am and have more knowledge and experience, they are automatically above me on the hierarchy level. This can be frustrating at times when I do not agree with their decisions and/or opinions, but have no say because of my age and quote-unquote maturity.
In conclusion, learning these terms and theories is important because it helps us analyze the reason change happens in society and what the factors are behind it, giving us a deeper understanding of the world we live in.